And we are recording now. It is important. Welcome. This is our talk on what is mutual aid and also explaining spoon sharing. And the final part of it is that we're going to be going over our new AutismBC meets, which will be going over how to do mutual aid and our just kind of making a not things for us, not without us. So we're making sure that the community is doing all of the best work that they can to help the community that they're in. So we are letting people join in. And what I'm going to do is I have super bad anxiety and I have ADHD. So what I have done is I have pre-recorded the PowerPoint. So if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have bright ideas where you would normally like raise your hand and we have to Q&A, we're going to do that after the video so that I don't have to pause the video. Make sense? We're good, everybody? Awesome. I am going to get this video set up real quick. And then we are going to share my screen and listen to our awesome video. And then, one second. Of course, now it is doing the thing where it says it can't do what I want it to do. Cute. Technology. Not a fan.
That's all right. We can fill in the gaps while you're figuring it out. Zoom is not my thing either, so I can't even help you from this end. But somebody here might know it better than us.
Oh no! I found it. I figured it out. It's
awesome.
All good. Yeah. I want to do this. Correct. Awesome.
Welcome everybody.
Carla and Rebecca, do you want to introduce yourselves as well?
Sure.
Because you're just like other random faces.
Well, so I can hear your voice talking in the background, and I don't know if you have a recording playing. It was very light. Yeah, it did stop. Yeah. Okay. We're good. I was confused. I was like, somebody else is giving a presentation right now. So hello, everybody. My name is Rebecca. I am the Interior Regional Coordinator of AutismBC, and I am in Kamloops. I am joining today just to support Anne and kind of work some of the background things. And we also have Carla here with us. I'll let Carla introduce herself as well.
So I'm Carla from Vernon. I have two grandsons with autism, ADHD, and bipolar, and two daughters with the same diagnoses. And myself, I also have been diagnosed with autism. And I'm going to be co-facilitating with Anne monthly meetings. And yeah, really excited to. This PowerPoint is amazing that Anne has done.
Okay, I think at this point I just share my screen and then I have to press play. It's very important work I'm doing, so I'm going to share the screen.
Welcome everybody. This is the AutismBC What is Mutual Aid talk. It's an introduction to mutual aid, spoon sharing, and a demo of our new AutismBC meets Neurodivergent Living Network. Starting in a good way, and acknowledgement. I am presenting this talk on the ancestral and ceded lands and territories of the Cayuse, Umatilla, and Walla Walla, Coquitlam, Stoyo, Semiahmoo, Kakite, Kwantlen, Tsleil-Waututh, Squamish, Swasan, Katsi, Musqueam, and Swimis First Nations people. We are blessed to be able to share this spirit of community on these lands and encourage you to look at the history of your home and to embark on your own journey of decolonization of yourself and learn about the places in which you live, learn, work, and love. Spoon theory. So spoon theory is a phrase that's coined by Christine Miserandino in 2003. The metaphor is a representation of the mental and physical energy available for daily tasks due to a condition that is either a disability or it's a mental health issue. The person who coined it has lupus, but in our particular instance, we're talking about being neurodivergent. Different activities require different numbers of spoons. So the example we have here is it takes a spoon to get out of bed. It takes a spoon to get dressed. It takes us 2 spoons to eat food, so on and so forth. But what do you do when you only have 10 spoons worth of energy in a day? So further along in this metaphor, there's the spoon drawer, and a neurodivergent spoon drawer is different than somebody who is neurotypical or allistic. Those people who are neurotypical, they have the right amount of spoons for all of the demands that are asked of them throughout their days. Their spoons also usually are all the same size. They're easily cleaned and easily replaced if they go missing. Neurodivergent people have different types of spoons and different numbers of those types of spoons for each of these demands. So when you are living your daily life, sometimes you have 20 sensory spoons, 5 language spoons, you have executive functioning spoons, and you have physical activity spoons, but they all are at differing sizes. They're at differing amounts, and on top of it, like some of them are like one-time use spoons. You only have enough energy to do this one particular thing once. Got spoons? This is a common phrase that Spoonies, who are the people who have to regulate their spoons, will either ask themselves or ask people around them if they need help. So what do you do when you don't got spoons? Well, you have to ask for spoons, and this is what we call spoon sharing. So what do you do when you don't got your spoons? You ask for help. Help, I need spoons. Well, who is going to save you? Mutual aid can and will come to the rescue. The quote I'm going to share by Joe Islar from the School of Social Work in the University of Georgia is, "Mutual aid is when everyday people get together to meet each other's needs, with the shared understanding that the systems we live in are not meeting our needs and that we can meet them together right now without having to pressure power structures to do the right thing." And this is a beautiful gem of a quote, and it crystallizes the concept very well. We live in a society where things have become very isolated and you're expected to do things by yourself. But what if you can't? What if you don't have the resources? What if you don't have the spoons? So mutual aid and building communities is a great resource that we can participate in. Examples of mutual aid are Facebook share groups, parenting groups, tiny libraries, community-led crisis response, childcare collectives, homeschool resource centers, anything and everything that you possibly can think of. There is some sort of mutual aid society or group or Facebook page, Reddit group that will and can help you. So we know what we can do if we're asking for help, but how can I help? How can I help others? How can I reciprocate the care and resources and support I have in my life? Well, the answer is being a caremongerer or caremongering. Everybody has something that they're good at, things that they're passionate about and want to share. Sharing is caring. Caring is amazing. So let's be caremongers. Examples of caremongering that have come to pass during and after the COVID crisis was that at 7 o'clock, communities would have standing ovations and bang pots and pans and play music, so that the people coming off of the front lines, the nurses, the doctors, hospital staff, firefighters, EMTs, everybody having to respond to this sort of mass global crisis, they were told and they were shown that they were loved and that they were supported and that they were cared about. We also saw lots of people who would check to see if there were elderly people in their community or immunocompromised people in their community who needed to get medicine and or groceries, but they were scared or unable to leave the house because of the illness. And so there was a group of people, not just a group, a collective of kind souls in every community around the world who wanted to help their neighbors. There is a quote from Mr. Rogers where in times of darkness and when things are scary, you have to look for the helpers. And the more you look, the more helpers you'll find. So now that we've talked about spoon sharing and mutual aid, let me introduce to you how to use the Neurodivergent Living Network. We make sure that we have different types of meets for different types of people, and currently our meets have been done in a way that are based on specific demographics. This particular meet, however, is meant to be an all-encompassing umbrella mutual aid support for everybody in our community. So the workflow for this would be you're having a problem that you cannot figure out to solve. Sign up for the group or fill out the form that we use asking for help. This can be done anonymously or used as a way to ask when you are unable to be at the group. The new meet group, Neurodivergent Living Network, will meet and go over the asked and questions for help. And then we will pool our collective knowledge and resources to help the community. All results will be added to an email that is sent out to the group and then posted to a recap blog, much in the style of meeting minutes with solutions and answers to questions that have been brought up. If you have requested to have an answer sent to you, you will be BCC'd on this email that is sent out. And if you have a follow-up question, you just ask. If you have solutions that help you and you want people to know about them, let us know. Tell us how great the solution is, or even if the solution wasn't that great and we could help change it a little bit, we can absolutely work with everybody to make sure that they are getting what they need. And then if you want to pay it forward, if you want to join the spirit of inclusivity and community, then join us for the next session. And here is the end of the little presentation we've just done. Thank you for coming to my not TED Talk. Let's go practice some mutual aid. We're going to stop the video and we will be taking questions and answers and then also doing a demonstration of how this process works. Thank you so much.
What I would like to do is I'm going to quickly go over, show what the form looks like. And then we can do questions and answers. If that is good with everybody, that would be great with me. Perfect. Okay, so let's share this screen now. Share this screen. Perfect. Hello. Yes, sharing the screen. Okay, so this is our lovely form that we have. So I went to an alternative high school, and the alternative high school I went to, we had the box, and the box was a place where students or teachers or people in the community who went or helped out at this high school could ask for help doing something for the community or help with their own issues in their life. And it could range from anything to, I need help with homework, I'm having a really hard time. It could be that, there's somebody whose family is having a hard time with securing food, and the high schooler made this decision to not eat food from home so that their younger siblings could have more food. And so there was a time where we set up, essentially people would just bring food, like extra lunch or extra breakfast, or would take the student out for dinner. And we successfully fed this kid for an entire school year out of our own food pantries so that his siblings could eat, which is devastating if you think about it. So this is kind of the same thing. If this can be done anonymously or just, hey, I can't make it to the meeting. So what we do is you go, are you looking for anonymous help, or you're unable to ask the question in person? So either you're unable to attend, or you just are not somebody who can talk face to face, or you just need to type it out, which is fine, or other. So we're going to say that we are looking for, I'm unable to ask in person. Okay. And then you say, what's the age of the person who needs help? So sometimes it's, I'm asking because I have a kid. Sometimes I'm asking because I have a kid, but that kid is older. And sometimes you're asking for an adult, or you're asking for yourself and you might be an adult. And then other, because we don't want to assume that you're doing an age for just one person. It could be many people, like a family. We ask for your location, just because certain regions have different resources. So let's say Lower Mainland, because that's where I'm sitting. And then your relation to autism. And this is not set up as a radio button, but set up as a checklist, because it could be many different things. So you could be a self-identified person who is on the spectrum, and you can also be a parent, and you can also be a partner, spouse, or life mate. And you could also be a member of chosen family, but you're also a teacher, and you're a friend, and you're a professional. You could be all of it or none of it. And then you're asked for help. I am having a hard time with the fact that my video didn't work. That's just an example. And then, do you want us to email you back a solution or resources? So then you just enter your email below. That is not a required form part, just because some people will just be, I'll look at it on the blog. So you don't have to do anything. And then you submit it. Ta-da! And they say, thank you for submitting. And if you have more questions, you have more questions. And if you don't, then you can just click out. Ugh, stop that. Okay. So then what happens is it compiles all of the questions into a spreadsheet. And the only person who can see the spreadsheet is Anne. That is to keep it anonymous for people who need it to be anonymous. And so then the group will happen, and our first one is next Monday. I will make sure that all of the things, like all of the asks, are anonymous if they need to be anonymous. And then we will go through the meet. Everybody will sign on. We'll do our own land acknowledgements, much like the one that I did today. I would suggest that everybody do their land acknowledgement and put it in the chat so that everybody is working on that important decolonization piece. But then also we can go through and for time's sake, also we'll ask people to do all of their hi, this is me, this is all the stuff in the chat as well, so that we can have the fastest, most efficient meeting as possible. And so that's how that does. And so then we'll go through all of the things. We will do all the resources. If you've ever been in a meet, There's resources like crazy in that chat. There is anecdotes like crazy in the video. Everybody is just putting forth these ideas. And why wouldn't we want to take that spirit of sharing and community and make it a little bit more public, but also polish it up so that we're not divulging everybody's personal information. So that is what our goal is for the group. Is there any questions? Are we unsure about what mutual aid is, what spoon sharing is? I'm opening it up for questions now. Dana.
Thank you so much, Anne, and thank you for starting this and for getting this going. This is desperately needed. I'm just so thrilled to see this model that just makes so much sense. How many, I don't want to be somebody who's drowning, and people who are trying to save me, I end up pulling them into my trauma. So how, I want to be careful of that. So, and what do you do about that when it is a difficult situation and I don't want to trigger anybody or decrease their mental health? But there's so much that I don't even know, so many issues that I desperately need help with that I don't even know where to start. What do you do in that case? Can you discuss that with somebody, or I don't know kind of what to do, because what's the first step?
So the model that I'm used to is this model that I went to an alternative high school in Seattle. So it was very hippy dippy. Everybody knew each other by first names. I don't even know the last names of the people who taught me things in high school. And the reason why they had it in a box and they just had reams of paper, is the moment it goes in your head, you walk over to the box and you write it down. So if you're like, I have all of these things I need help with, put it in the form. That's why it's there. That's why we have like an unlimited writing section in the form. If you need help figuring out your like priorities, that's something that like in that note section, you can say, this is a priority. I think it's a low priority. I'm not sure. And eventually, hopefully we will have enough volunteers and people in the community who have gained this mutual aid, spoon sharing, like vibe and knowledge that we'll be able to set up kind of like a brain trust. And if somebody's like, I just need to talk to somebody who knows what's going on, and like with their own brains, and it might not be somebody directly from AutismBC, but it will be somebody that we can vet and make sure that they're a person who isn't going to tell you, sell all of your worldly possessions and move to the moon, which sounds great, but probably not as useful as one would like it to be. If that answers your question in the most succinct, best way, or if you need me to do more, awesome. Okay. Lindsay.
Yes, hi, thank you. That was great, by the way. You did very good. I understand, public speaking is... I'm
gonna drink so much coffee and eat so much chocolate and just like cry and clean my bathroom after this.
Right? You do what you gotta do to get your spoons back, right?
Exactly, you gotta.
My question was, so the ask help form. Oh, it's a Monday, isn't it? Is that just on the AutismBC website?
It will be, and then we'll also send it out to like people who sign up for the meets. It's one of those things where like obviously we want to drive people to our resources and whatnot, but if you have somebody you're talking to and they're like, I don't know what to do, send them the link, because at that point it's in the spirit of mutual aid and community giving to help the people who need the help.
Perfect. That's that's helpful. And will this group be accessible to anybody who wants to access it?
Yeah, that's the point of it, is that.
Oh, you put yourself on mute.
Myself.
There we go.
I accidentally muted myself. Yeah. The point of it is, like, yes, it would be great if it was members of the autism community or the neurodivergent community. That's the main goal. But like, honestly, if you are just like parents of kids who are on the spectrum, or parents or like family members of people who are on the spectrum, and you're like, I need help doing this or figuring out this, you're not going to be barred because you're not a member of AutismBC. That's the main goal, is just making the community have the ability and the ability to help their own community, and it doesn't have to be gatekeeped in any way.
Okay. That's wonderful. I think this is a great idea. And, you know, I can think of people like within the workspace, but also people within like my personal life. Like my nephew has autism and he's quite high support needs. So I feel like my sister-in-law would probably really enjoy this group and kind of getting some good information as a whole. Yeah.
And we have other meets that are absolutely the type of thing that would probably help her. So if she wanted to join the parents of children and the specific age range, she could. All of our meets are great. I can't say enough good stuff about them.
Okay. I want to say she's already part of a parent group, but I will double check with her just to make sure, and make sure she knows, and any parents know that this resource is available, or those, right, who need the tools, you know, being neurodivergent yourself. And thank you.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Rebecca.
And we just have a couple people asking when the next meet is, and we are answering in the chat. But if you want to just let everybody know how often we're going to run and when they will be running, that would be fantastic.
It's monthly, and it's the third Monday of the month that we're going to be doing it. So our next one starts next week, right at the start of BC spring break season. So that's going to be fun for me because I have twins and they will be home. So you might see adorable autistic twins popping their little heads in, asking mommy for a cup of juice. We'll see. MJ? MJ, you're on mute. You're muted.
Sorry. Can we just go on to Neurodivergent Living Network? And is that a site that we can go to?
Okay, so I probably didn't explain it the best. So Neurodivergent Living Network is an AutismBC Meets, which is a support system group that we do monthly. And then what will happen is people bring their questions or their asks for help or support, or like, hi, I really, really just have no idea how to deal with my picky eaters, right? And then what happens is, in that third Monday meeting, the people in that group, they put all of their information, all of their resources, all of their ideas, all of the things that have worked well for them together. And then what we will do afterwards is we will essentially gather, collate, and vet all of that information. And then we will post it as a blog post so that people can say, oh, what was the information for this last meeting? Oh, it looks like somebody had a question about picky eaters. Somebody had a question about where they can find the most comfy sweatshirt that doesn't have a tag, that smells like lavender, that doesn't, like, all of that stuff. We will just make it available. We'll anonymize it, make it so that it's scrubbed up so that you can't be like, I'm Googling Anne Honeycutt, right? And that pops up. But what it will show is, you know, I want to find out how to best meal plan for the 25 neurodivergent people who live in my house. That can be found. So it's a website, but it's also more of just a community group that is working to help the autistic community. Does that answer your question?
Yes, so this, but just one thing. So this meeting on third Monday of every month is part of the mutual aid program, or it's the mutual aid program.
It is the mutual aid program. It is part of this whole vast thing, and it's essentially the brain cells rubbing together part of the mutual aid group.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Dana?
Thank you. No, it's Dana. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I have been trying to figure out how to summarize this and paraphrase. I guess my question is around help with systemic issues. One of the ones that is on my mind right now is that I work in education. I'm an education assistant, but I've been on medical leave for almost 3 years now, and I'm fighting with the insurance company. They think I should be going back to work. Am I medical? Anyway, I can't. Fighting with them. I have been a student in our local district 67. I've been so when I was a student, I was not diagnosed, but there were definitely things going on. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. Back then, nobody knew about this. And I've been a parent of 2 kiddos who have also been suicidal in school district 67. I was suicidal. I was sent to a private Catholic school in Saskatchewan for grades 11 and 12. And then I tried to do my university here. And again, not diagnosed, really difficult, had the capacity for it, not able to do it. My oldest son had trauma and he had to finish high school in New Brunswick, but he graduated with honors. My youngest son, I had at the end of grade 3, he's now in grade 6, I had to make a choice between his life and his education. So my question is, do you have relationships with the local school districts? Have you reached out to them? In my Googling, I see that our local district is working with somebody at Disability Alliance BC, some group, to try to meet our obligations under the Accessible BC Act. I know the people who are on our local accessibility committee. I don't trust her. I don't trust her. I am terrified. I cannot go back to work the way the system is now. I'm sinking further and further into poverty. I have legal issues that I need to get sorted out, but I am a single mom. And as much as I'm trying to help my kiddo, there's no way I'm sending him back to so I'm sorry, I haven't read the chats and I'm trying to summarize this, but really it's around whether you think that our local school districts are open to change, because when I'm well enough, I'm going back in and I'm going to change things from the inside and stop the trauma that we're perpetuating on our neurodivergent kiddos and employees. And I'll get off my soapbox now.
Okay. Well, thank you for your honesty and your vulnerability. Deep breaths, warm beverages. In fact, I'm going to sip some water. Self-care. Okay. So with this group, we might have members of the group who are in the know with certain school districts. There's no way to know. There's no way to know who's going to do what. But what we can do is have an ask of, can people help me find the resources that I need so that I can do this advocacy? And can I have people help me with figuring out how to best address this with my school district? So that is how you would do the ask. Your ask is, I need help with finding resources that I'm having a hard time finding, and I need help with doing the best type of advocacy work. I do know that like our executive director was a school board trustee in Langley. And so I know that in the future, we're going to be focusing on things that have to do with education. I mean, always everybody's trying to educate as much as possible. But like currently, this is all just the pre-stage. We are right now writing all of our pieces of paper and throwing them in the box, to work the analogy that I put out. So I empathize. I have kids. I am terrified every day that my children are going to be othered. I'm in New Westminster, and I have already gone through and started being that parent. But your ask, your need to be heard, like that is kind of the reason why we have a group like this. You're asking your community to help you, and that's what we want to do. So I would suggest, like, literally the form, just abuse that button. You click it, you type, because that means that the community sees that there's somebody in the community that needs help. And if we can meet together and rub our brain cells and find the best solution for all of us, then that only helps the community, right? Does that work?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you so much.
You're
If
welcome.
in my next life, I would love to have finished my education and have the letters behind my name so people believe me, and go and just tell them what it's like for these kiddos to just surviving every day in that environment is an accomplishment. Sorry.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I can speak for most of the people in this particular session where we're all here. We are all here with you. We are the parents. We are the people who have the same struggles, and we're here. Nothing about us without us.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, of course.
For you guys. I really
Okay. Do we have any, in fact, like I'm like looking at the chat right now, and it's just like exactly what I want, which is people are throwing links and suggestions and support and good vibes at you. So we're here for you. Is there anybody else who has questions or comments, concerns, asks for help? We can practice and ask. We've already been practicing, but anything else that we want to do? We're looking. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, honey, the thing wedged. It's been wedged. I'm sorry. I can't because it's wedged right now, and I'm still in the middle of this delightful meeting that's being recorded. Have fun. Bye. The joys of living with lots and lots of people in one house. Okay, so if we don't have any other questions or asks, I think that we managed to do this wonderful thing in the allotted time period, even though I had technical difficulties and almost cried. So thank you, everybody. Oh, thanks. So thanks, everybody, for joining us again. We're here. And then, oh, thank you, everybody. Oh, I'm going to cry. People are perceiving my niceness. So in the spirit of doing this whole thing, we will go through and we will clean up stuff, make things more anonymous. I'm going to take the video. We're going to edit it so that only the good things that are not me crying and freaking out about this video are going to be posted. All of that stuff. We'll make a transcript, all of that. and then we'll send emails out of all of the cool resources that people just put in that link. We'll send that out. That'll be something that happens. And it's just like what we were going to be doing next Monday. So if you want to help out, or if you have questions, oh yeah, one other thing I forgot to say in the presentation is that we as an organization, AutismBC, we don't have all of the resources to do all of the things that people are asking us to do. So what happens, what we will be doing is we will have like a one ask from the community, like that we are asking our community to help us with. So examples would be, can anybody who volunteers call 5 like grocery stores and ask them, do they have accessible times for people who have sensory issues? If they don't have accessible times for people with sensory issues, would they like information on how to set that up? That's an example. Or who here has worked with a lawyer who is good with people on the spectrum? That is another ask we get a lot. And we're like, Googling, and we're not sure. So that's always a thing. Oh, Colleen.
Hi there. Something I wanted to bring up at the meeting was that there are a lot of people who are lonely, just lonely, and at home alone. And so, like for instance, I'm in Debtors Anonymous, and we have activity sessions. A few of the meetings a week have activity sessions where you just call up and you say, okay, this is what I want to do for the next hour. And it could be, make my bed and do the dishes, or it could be I'm applying for a job and I need to work on my resume. And it's just so then people just put their camera on, mute or stop video. And they go do that for an hour and then come back and they say how they did. And sometimes that can go on for 4 or 5 hours. And so that kind of mutual support, just knowing you're not there alone, and you like I can have the capacity to do things, but it's the loneliness or depression that keeps me back. So I'm wondering if this is an idea that the group could consider.
Yeah, we actually have I think I actually replied to your email when you originally sent this. So this can be absolutely something that we set up in the future, where we have like a Facebook group or a different type of platform. We're still kind of figuring out the best way to do that, where we do set up like a, hey, everybody, on this day at this time, it's body double day, where you turn on your webcams and you go and you do your work and you come back. Or if you have like a haha funny thing that just happened, you can share it with the group. And it's just like having a bunch of people in your house. So what you're expecting, like what you just described, absolutely. It's a great tool. Everybody needs, not everybody, a lot of people need help with doing things where they just need somebody, like the mere thought of a presence of somebody near them is absolutely a thing that people in the neurodivergent community do. I personally work best if to put Rebecca on example, there are times where Rebecca and I just video chat each other and we don't talk. We just work. We just work, or we'll go hee hee hee. And so you'll say, what happened? And I'll be like, oh, I saw a bird and it attacked another bird. Cool. And then we continue to do our writing, or we continue to do our emails. So yes, body doubling, having that sort of community building, that is a great use of spoon sharing and mutual aid that we can absolutely help facilitate. Okay, are we good? Everybody has done their ask, all of that? Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And again, we will edit the video so I'm not like crying. And we'll send out an email in the next day or so with all the resources that we have asked. Okay, so thank you so much. Everybody take a deep breath and a big stretch.
Thank you.
Okay. And enjoy your Mondays, okay? I mean, as much as you can enjoy a Monday. Okay. Have a great day, all.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.